So, I have finished this, Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. My goodness, devastating. This book has ripped a giant hole in my chest and is absolutely devastating. I thought The Old Man and the Sea was sad, but in a way that you kind of feel good about being sad about, you know. This is a deeply depressing and I don't feel good about this book. I'm unsettled about this book to the point where I was having bad dreams, like after I would read specific chapters, like most of the way through the book, after the halfway point of the book where I kind of realized, you realize what's going on pretty early. You're told most of the truth. You're not told the whole truth. But you find out everything. And as you come to find out everything, it's like, oh my gosh, there is no hope. There is no joy. There is nothing that is good. I actually got to the point where I was like 75% through it, might have been 80% through it, and on my, I recorded on Goodreads where I was, and I just commented on there. I was like, at this point, I'm hoping that the characters are going to commit suicide, because there seems to be no other way out of this, no good solution to any of this, because this is so, oh gosh, it's just so stark, and what's going to happen, and the results are of what is going to happen is just omnipresent. And it seems like in this particular world that they're in, it's just going to happen. There's nothing anyone can do about it. And it's awful. Like, nobody's going to fight. Nobody's going to fight against, the whatever powers that be in this. They seem like they're in a 1984 future or something like that, they're not able to fight against their fate, basically. And yeah, if you have not read this and you are very interested in dystopian futures, 1984, philosophy around second-class citizenship, it is science fiction in a way, but it's realistic science fiction, I think. And possibly a future that we ourselves are looking at, which I would fight tooth and nail against, because I think it's absolutely horrible, the things that have happened to the main characters in this book. But anyway, that's how I feel about it, and kind of the nature of being, the nature of existence, if you're into that kind of thing. And what you do with your time while you're here. That's one of the things that this kind of really looks at too, is all the learning, all the knowledge, because you know what your fate's going to be ultimately. I mean, we all die ultimately, and you have to decide, is it worth spending your time learning and doing all of the things that we're doing, because ultimately we do die. So it's just one of those big questions, but it's the span that these characters have is so, I'll say, so short, and just it's unfair. It's unjustified, unfair to me. And yeah, that's all I will have to say about it. I don't want to give it away completely. It's kind of horrifying, absolutely horrifying. But this has put me in such a depressing mood that I have decided to go ahead and pick up something lighter. Although the beginning of it, now that I've gotten to like chapter 2 in here, I realize the beginning of it's actually pretty depressing. But The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Try to say that one 3 times fast. Just something to give me, I'm hoping, a little bit of a pick-me-up. I also think I'm going to grab a cozy mystery, because I know they're super fast for me to read, and I'm in the mood for something cozy, familiar characters that will pick me up. and make me feel better. I need something happy desperately right now, because I feel like the next book I'm going to pick up, My Antonia, I have a feeling that that one's also a little bit depressing, or that something bad happens in it. I'm not 100% sure, but I do think that that is the case. So anyway, just gonna pick up some kind of happier material. Am I glad I read it? Yes, I am glad I read it. It's very well written. It's a beautiful story. It's sad. It's tear-jerking. It kills your insides. It has so killed me. It's good though. It's still good. I gave it a 3.5 because it really depressed the hell out of me, but I still felt like it was really, really well written. I didn't give it a 4 because 4s and 4.5s and 5s are those wow books. Wow, this really threw me, for a loop. Wow, this was awesome. Wow, this was really well written. And 5s are like exceptionally wow, awesome. I'll reread this forever. This is a favorite from now on. But yeah, this is definitely a 3.5, 3.75 quality. Very well written. I will definitely read more of Ishiguro in the future. I picked up a few more of his books. Somebody, I guess, had dropped off all 4 of his books that were printed by Vintage, and I have the rest of the collection over there. I think Remains of the Day will be the next one I read because it just sounds interesting. I read the back of it. Seems like a really interesting book. The package has been secured. Hello, lovely people. Welcome to the vlog. I have been really tired lately and just kind of out of sorts. No reason. I think the heat has something to do with it in the Midwest. Over the last few days, this pretty much whole week, it has been in the 99s, 98, 99, 100, 102. Actually, currently today it's 102 outside. Yay! My poor air conditioning is running overtime, and I'm constantly in fear that it's going to stop working at some point, because we had that happen one time, and it's not pleasant. It is not pleasant when that happens. So here's hoping that the repairs the last time will hold us through today into next week. We're supposed to get a break in the weather overnight, and so then it'll be back in the 80s again, which I'm actually looking forward to. That sounds much more pleasant right now. So anyway, because I'm in kind of this kind of mucky mood, this meh mood, I wanted to just kind of make a cozy vlog. So we're going to do a cozy vlog today. Anything I deem cozy, we are doing. So I think that reading, and I've got it right here, I have a feeling that finishing up Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro had a lot to do with my mood too. Just devastating. This book, there's like no hope, no happiness, no hope to me in this book. I won't go into details on it, but it's just how it has affected me. It put me in such a depressed mood that I had to go and get something from the library that I knew for sure would pick me up. I got the Laura Childs Devonshire Scream from the library. That'll probably be in this vlog as well, me going to go pick that up. And then I have been reading The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett and have enjoyed it immensely. And yeah, it's a balm to my soul at this point. This is such a good book. I forgot how good it was. It is a balm to the soul. There's hopefulness, there's happiness, there's love, there's learning to be loved, learning to be happy, learning all of the good things about life is in The Secret Garden. Also, it makes me want to go outside and garden, but it's just too darn hot right now. But anyway, I will treasure this. I will treasure this copy for years to come now. And I'm also going to get A Little Princess. I think I'm going to start listening to that also today. also by Burnett, and I've never read it. I've never listened to it. I don't know anything about it, so hopefully it will be a really, really good book as well. Just some other things that I've got kind of around just for coziness right now, other than reading, is I ordered a few more cookbooks. So this is the Deliciously Ella plant-based cookbook. This was her, I don't know if this was the first one she'd put out, but this was the main cookbook by Deliciously Ella. She's over in the UK, so this is a UK edition of it, and they haven't done a whole lot in the US as far as I could tell. It looked like from their website they were going to launch some kind of a US media store, just kind of media or something like that, or maybe some other things having to do with Deliciously Ella and kind of getting her more popularized in the US. So I feel like I'm a little bit ahead of the curve on this one, actually. She has a restaurant in England, in probably London, and then it's just a lot of plant-based recipes, breakfast, lunch, dinner sort of recipes. So this was her, I think, first cookbook, and then she also put out a How to Go Plant-Based, which is a guide and also recipes in here. And I don't have the other one on me, but I'll try and put it up right here. It is the Deliciously Ella Quick Meals, I think is what it's called, and it's just like 10-minute, 20-minute recipes in it for plant-based individuals. So I was feeling a little uninspired with my food lately, and really kind of tired of eating stuff out of boxes lately, and getting fast food from Burger King because they have a plant-based burger there as well. But I was like, I gotta start cooking more. I have no ideas. And then I saw her featured on, I think, another vegan YouTuber's channel. Not Holly Gabriel. I forget her name right now, but I will mention her somewhere in here when I go looking again. I don't have my phone on me, otherwise I'd totally search for it right now. But it kind of inspired me to go ahead and pick up these books after looking at Deliciously Ella's website, and the food looked really good. I tried a couple of recipes. They were good, like really good. So I decided, yes, let's just go ahead and pick up a few more cookbooks. So I'm excited to look at these and come up with my kind of weekend food plans out of these cookbooks. So that is another thing I'm going to look at really quick here. I have about 40 minutes till I gotta go get children. So I am going to sit here and read a little bit. I will film a little bit of me reading a few things. I think I'm going to start with maybe looking in the cookbook, especially this one. And then after I get done kind of browsing through this and trying to pick what I want, then I think I'm going to continue on with my Laura Childs book, the Devonshire Scream book, which I am 101 pages into out of, let's see, 297. So I'm not halfway yet, about 40% through, I would say. So anyway, and I'm enjoying it so far. These books, I know all the characters, I know everything. I mean, I know the formula, basically, for every one of these books. They're all the same. And the things that they talk about in the books, like tea and preparing tea and food and scones and culture and all of that stuff, it's formulaic. I love it. I know it. It's soothing. It's very cozy. It's very soothing. Again, like, I wouldn't call this one a balm necessarily, but definitely a cozy, happy place to be. And then The Secret Garden is definitely the balm to my soul, the curative, I would say, to Never Let Me Go. Not that I disliked Never Let Me Go. I still enjoyed it. But I have a feeling that I'm going to enjoy other books by Kazuo Ishiguro more than Never Let Me Go. Maybe I need to film my reaction to Never Let Me Go, my review of it, perhaps. I don't know. Is it considered a classic? Maybe we'll call it a modern classic. That's what I can do. And I can just give you my raw review with spoilers. Maybe we'll try and film that sometime in the next couple of weeks. I just can't do it right now. It's still too fresh. I can't talk about it because it'll just make me upset and just kill me, I think. So anyway, let me go ahead and get reading here. Bye. I think that one looks pretty good. Simple pesto salad. It's got aubergine, which is eggplant in American. Courgettes, which are zucchini. Red, orange, or yellow peppers cut into strips. Fresh basil. So it seems like every recipe I want to do has basil in it right now, which I have to go to this grocery store and get basil. So I would need eggplant, zucchini, and, basil. Yeah, eggplant, zucchini, and basil. It calls for almonds here, but I could substitute with sunflower seeds that I've got for the pesto. Right. Mostly I just want to eat stuff that's cold right now because it's so hot out. So salad with like baked potatoes sounds really good because you can eat the potatoes cold too. That looks good too. Rainbow salad. Quinoa, edamame, sweet corn, chard, which I could substitute with some other green, really. Like spinach or kale, probably. I've got spring onions. I don't have avocado. And I don't have pomegranate seed. But I don't really think, but yeah, optional for pomegranate seed. It says optional for both avocado and pomegranate. Okay. Spiced peanut sweet potatoes. So this is one on her website that also looked really good. Which I have a lot of sweet potatoes I do need to use. Olive oil, ground ginger, cinnamon, cumin, parsley. I don't have parsley, so I'll need to get parsley. I don't have any dates. Well, no, I do have dates, actually. I have a box of dates. Date syrup or maple syrup. Sesame oil, I've got that. That sounds pretty good, actually. I think I might make that up, too. It is Saturday night. Just came and got in bed, and I had a lovely day, kind of just chilling out on the couch and just enjoying most of the day. I did some laundry, folded laundry like you saw, and mostly listened to A Little Princess. And then after a little while, I switched from that to my Laura Childs books. So I am halfway through the Laura Childs book now, and I am also halfway through A Little Princess. So I am enjoying A Little Princess so far. It's different than The Secret Garden. I do think The Secret Garden is kind of the superior book right now, probably because I'm most familiar with it. But I'm still enjoying A Little Princess. I feel awful for Sarah now because we've just come to the part where we found out that her father has passed away and she's destitute, penniless. And so the mistress of the school, which I've lost her name right now, the mistress of the school is now basically turning her into a servant. And so she will be doing all kinds of errands and stuff for the school mistress. But anyway, but then while I was reading Laura Child's book, there is a part in it which where the characters go to the opera for the evening, and the opera was La Boheme. And I had a moment there where I was like, you know what? Why don't take off my glasses actually? Why don't I listen to La Boheme while I am reading this book? I think that would be atmospheric, kind of nice to do that. It reminds me how I really do enjoy an immersive experience when I am reading or, looking at art and listening to music at the same time, that kind of thing. Very enjoyable. La Boheme is an absolutely beautiful opera if you are not familiar with it. It is the tale of two people who fall in love with each other and the difficulties that life brings to them, and their journey through their love over time. And it is tragic and romantic and beautiful and all of those things. And it takes place in the slums of Paris, I think in 1830 or something like that, kind of the bohemian lifestyle of the 1830s. So anyway, pretty interesting stuff if you are interested. It's absolutely beautiful opera. It is an Italian opera, so it is sung in Italian, even though it's about French people. Go figure. Anyway, it just, that whole thing reminds me of how immersive reading books and listening to music together can be. I just enjoyed it a lot. So I'm going to keep reading Laura Childs and go to sleep. And that's my plan. And then I'll probably wrap this up tomorrow on Sunday at the end of the cozy weekend, cozy vlog, the cozy vlog. So I'll see you in a bit. Bye. And just like that, we're back to Monday. I'm here to film my wrap up for my cozy weekend. So I hope that you all had a wonderful cozy weekend. I had a really nice cozy weekend, even with the children around. It was relaxing. It was pretty calm. We did have one cheerleading event to go to, but it was early in the morning on a Saturday, and then we came right back home. So it was pretty quick and easy, done and dusted, and then I didn't really have to think about much else the rest of the day. Oh, there are doves outside wandering around the pool. How cute. Oh, anyway, sorry. But I actually ended up getting quite a bit of reading done over the weekend. I finished up The Secret Garden, which was absolutely fantastic, just as wonderful as I remember it being. Such a beautiful book, so wonderful. It just makes you feel like life is wonderful and worth living, and there's all kinds of wonderful things to explore. I like children's literature for that, the positivity in it. Sorry, the dog is distracting me. I was so happy with reading The Secret Garden that I also picked up A Little Princess, which I had never read, never listened to before, anything, never saw the movie either, and just decided to give that one a go. I listened to it on YouTube. I will put that link down here in the description below. It was read by a gentleman who, it was meant for like a soothing, go to sleep kind of a playlist, but I enjoyed his voice so much that I was like, I really want to listen to just him reading the whole thing. And so I ended up putting it on 1.5 speed, so it would kind of hurry and hustle along a little bit more, because he was reading it so slow. Every sentence was like this, and gentle, and slow, and oh, the next sentence, and oh, the next sentence. But it was so slow, so I had to put it up to 1.5. I typically put things at 1.25 if I feel like they need to move along a bit more, but this one was very slow. I almost went to 2, but 2 would have sounded way too fast, I think. Anyway, my thoughts on The Little Princess. I enjoyed the story a lot. I was so heartbroken at times by it because of, her going from being this girl who was given everything basically and extremely humble, even though she was given everything, to going to being absolutely destitute and having to live in this hard conditions with this hard woman, basically making the lives of everybody that lived under the roof of her house just absolutely atrociously awful. And just how people used to treat their servants, especially horrible people, how they used to treat their servants, and then how they treated, people that they had to take care of, but they had no obligation otherwise to. Just awful. Miss Minchin is just the picture of a horrid, cruel individual, and I hope that anybody that's out there like Miss Minchin just goes straight to hell. So, don't be a Miss Minchin at all. Be a Sarah Crew. That was my major takeaway for this. Be a Sarah Crew. Act like a princess, no matter what horrible situation there is. I do wish that at times Sarah had not, behaved like a princess and just say, I'm above all of this. I do wish a few more times in the book she had just laid into Miss Minchin, because Miss Minchin deserved to be laid in, especially at the very end of the book. But I think it turned out pretty well. So we finished both of those books, which is great, over the weekend. Nice, cozy, soothing, calming books. I think I can continue on with life now after Never Let Me Go. Never Let Me Go was beautiful in its own tragic way, but it was just heart-wrenching and rending and just tore me up inside. Just absolutely tore me up inside. I'm not going to get over that one for probably years. But I am continuing on also with Laura Child's Devonshire Scream. I am enjoying this so much. Flying through it, actually. I'm at page 213 today, and I've only got most of it's actually stuff afterwards, recipes from the Indigo Tea Shop, and little tea time tips and tricks and things like that at the end. So I've only got 3 chapters left, which is about 30 pages. So that's good. So I will finish this up today, actually, and Probably going to end up giving it about 3.5 or 4, just because it's a series and it kind of is really formulaic, and it's just in all of the same books. Although they did add in another dog character in this one. If you're familiar, the character Drayton, who is the tea master at the Indigo Tea Shop, he ends up picking up a stray dog, which I think is just so cute. And it sounds like it's a King Charles Cavalier, which is one of my favorite kind of dogs, and would love to have one day, but I just don't have the time for that kind of grooming right now. I have time for a Rufus. Yes, I do. Do you want to come up here and say hello, maybe? This is Rufus. I think I've introduced him before. He's very dirty and fluffy right now because he does have to go to the groomer, but he is my poodle and golden retriever mix, so he is a golden doodle. I got him for the kids and for me because I wanted a nice big dog, but he's huge for a golden doodle. He's like 50 pounds. He's so big, but he's so big and fluffy and lovey and such a good dog. He's such a good boy. Yes, he is. Oh, I love him to death. So he's 2 now also. He just had a birthday. August 11th, he had a birthday. So, all right, bud, you want to get down now? Oh, such a big boy. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just going to keep talking to the camera now. Okay. So, yes, I'm finishing this up this weekend. This entire weekend has brought me to the conclusion that I think I'm going to throw in some reads that are cozier, so I will probably maybe pick up another Laura Childs book here in the next week. I haven't 100% decided. I am for sure, because today we're winding down into the end of August now. I for sure want to read The Phantom of the Opera starting September 1st. I am getting that. I am holding it. I've got a hold on it in my library to get the physical copy, and so I am for sure reading that starting September 1st. I think it will be atmospheric. I think it will be cozy. I know the Phantom of the Opera story. I have seen the musical a number of times, long time ago. My mother used to work in theater and opera, and so she worked Phantom a number of times, and I ended up actually having to go and be backstage a number of times and also watching it through her. You know, she'd let me go sit out in the audience and I'd watch, and loved those Andrew Lloyd Webber productions of The Phantom of the Opera. They were just so crazy, so good. So I'm familiar with it. It'll be cozy to me. So anyway, I was thinking about reading more cozy stuff. So like I mentioned, Phantom of the Opera. I also decided to try out Orlando by Virginia Woolf. Emmy over at her channel, she absolutely has been raving about Orlando the last couple of weeks. And I know that their book club, they had read Orlando, and they had also read The Awakening. That's right. I'm not really interested in The Awakening right now, but I am interested in Orlando. So I will give Orlando a read as well. So I'm thinking about, I just got the hold in on that. So I'm thinking about, as soon as I get done with Devonshire Scream, I'm going to go ahead and start Orlando and then go into Phantom of the Opera. Hopefully Orlando isn't super long. I'm not sure exactly, but we will see. And then there was a couple of other cute little cozy things that I was thinking about picking up. Heart of the Sun Warrior is also out, and I saw it at my library the other day, and I thought about picking it up, but I didn't. So I don't know. We'll see there. But yeah, anyway, it's just kind of given me, brought me to the conclusion that I want to throw some more cozy reads in. I think the next Kazuo Ishiguro that I end up reading will be Remains of the Day, because it sounds like a really interesting book. A butler from, I guess, some former landed estate who'd been there for a very long time is sort of reminiscing on his past and things that had happened in the 1920s and 30s at the estate. So maybe it's really good. I don't know. We will see, but I like the 20s and I like the 30s and I like English estates more than probably anything else at this point. Absolutely adore English estates. Want to go on some kind of a tour of English estates one day. It's just one of those things I want to do. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed your cozy weekends. I know I did, and I needed it desperately. And yeah, I think that's going to be it. So here we are. It's Monday. Let's start the week over again. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.